and welcome to the EGH Talk Show, live and exclusive on everywhere that you can imagine. We are on TikTok down the bottom, we are on Facebook, we are on Journey Through, everywhere you can imagine, YouTube. We are live. And as you can see, I've got some glorious faces amongst us tonight that are going to be joining us as we have a look back. I hope everybody is well. It's the 2nd of April 2026. The clocks have gone forward. We've lost an hour, but the sun is shining later. We are getting into that season when people start to smile. People start to be happy. So welcome. We've got people in the chat already letting us know that you are there and waiting. Welcome, everybody. And I'm going to have to say it. Welcome, Mr. Paranormal Paul. How are we today?
Good evening. Yes, I'm not too bad, thank you. Struggled with that extra hour I've lost, but I think I'm finally getting there.
It's a horrible thing losing an hour, isn't it? Why?
Awful.
Why?
Awful.
Why do we have to lose an hour? Eh? It doesn't make any sense.
So you can gain an hour in October.
Huh?
So you can gain an hour in October.
Great. But we lose it anyway. We lose it, they give it. They lose it. We've always lost it.
Yeah.
Don't make bloody sense. Whatever they're doing, it makes no sense. Mr. Psychic Psy, how are we?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Good.
Well, a few rants, but I'll probably get us off the air if I went through them rants right now. So I'm going to let him work. I'm going to let him work through his system.
Well, do we let Simon rant? Let's put that to a vote. Are we going to let Simon rant or are we going to not let Simon rant? Pop in the comments if you want Simon to rant. If you want Simon to rant, vote yes. That goes, we are live on YouTube as well. Please hit them buttons so we know you're there. So welcome, everybody. Right. And we are joined by two other team members that are also below us. We are joined by Henry and Mrs. A. Welcome. I don't think I've got any clapping sounds. I don't think I've got that. Don't know what that is.
That's right. That's about right.
What was it? I can hear it. There you go. I know it's somewhere in there. Well, the overwhelming event. Well, thank you two for joining us tonight because we are going to be having a look back at Thaxted Guildhall and how the event went. We've got team members there. I'm with Paul tonight. I don't know really what went on because I was there, but we was in the process of a little bit of a fishing hook for you all. There is a new project coming to EGH very soon, and I have been working on that with another team member. So please keep your eyes out for Project EGH coming in the next few months, okay? And I think it will be for everyone's benefit that this will rock and roll. So I'm with you, Paul. I don't really know what went on. I knew things that went on, but the details and things like that, I haven't got a clue. So I'm going to be in your camp tonight, Paul. I'm just going to sit back and listen because I'm going to let it to these three tell us what happened. So let's see. We've got in the chat. We've got Sarah is in the chat. We've got Jane in the chat. We've got the lovely Elizabeth Heidi Hanson in the chat. We've got team member Lisa. We've got Stuart is in the chat. Yeah, British summertime was a wartime measure to conserve coal for energy and increase productivity by extending daylight in 1914. Still, the war's over. I'm sorry, you're not in this country. Could put it back. That would help. Lee has joined us in the chat, and Tina is also in the chat tonight. Unfortunately, Simon, we've got to let you rant because it's been voted as rant. So you've got 3 minutes to get your rants off your chest.
Got a lot of feedback, mate. I've got a lot of feedback this week.
I'm all right, actually.
1, 2. Is it me?
Hello? It's me?
No, it's not. I can hear it coming back. Is it just me that's hearing that?
Yeah, it's just you. I can't hear anything. I can hear it. I can't hear any feedback, so it might just be you.
Crack on.
All right.
Well, it's just me.
You might just want to put your fingers in your ears because Simon's going to rant for the next 3 minutes. So
I don't want to hear it because he keeps saying that he's got nothing to rant about. I'm all happy.
No, not this week.
Right.
Not this week.
Rant.
Okay.
No.
This actually, it was on the way back from Thaxted. I tuned into a radio program that I was listening to, and this bloke was making perfect sense. Right? He said, "We're an island. Yeah, we've got enough food to feed people, enough meat to eat in this country. We've got enough animals to kill to eat in this country. We've got enough vegetables. We've got enough fruit. We can actually go into the North Sea and dig out, drill for our own oil and our own gas. And it basically, why ain't we doing it?" And you know what? I close our borders, and I wholeheartedly agree with him. Let's do it. And then the next thing I would do, right, very controversial, I would bring back national service because I think I wouldn't have liked it, and a lot of people wouldn't have liked it. But I tell you what, I think it teaches men to be men, discipline for 2 years of their lives. And I tell you what, if you brought back national service, our population would go woo for some reason. I'm just reading to that what you want to read into that, but that's what would happen. Because they wouldn't want to go into our national service. And then we wouldn't have the lovely Mr. Trump saying, we ain't got no defences. And why are we not? And then he's having a go at us because we're not defending the strait that's being attacked by Iran, right? We don't need to defend that strait because our oil don't come from there either. But he's having a go at us because we won't defend it. So where's that logic come from? Mr. Trump, come and see us. Mr. Trump, get off your idols. And if I was King Charles, I would certainly not be given a visit. That's the sign I would be giving to Mr. Trump right now. Rant is over, okay?
Welcome to the EGH Rant Paranormal Show.
That's it. That's it.
Well, that was a rant and a half, wasn't it?
Will we have a vote finger?
You wanted it. It wasn't sort of really prepared, but yeah.
Well, I hope you feel better, Mr. Cardy. I hope you feel
I want something done about it. Yeah, I get.
What's going to be done about it?
Talk about
I'm a politician, Mr. Simon.
Yeah,
I'll be dead by the time I've got anything done. It takes 30 years to get anything done. I'll be
run for local MP.
Let's just be fair. We can't even build a straight road in this country without taking 16 years. So, you know, drill baby drill for this country is definitely never going. It won't be until sort of, 2058 that we actually get oil. So it'd be pointless. Right. That's for another show. In a couple of weeks' time, we can talk about that. But we are going to be here. We will probably end the show on, I'm going to say it, I'm going to probably end the last sort of 20 minutes of the show will be based on whatever it is going to be the last bit of the show will be based on what happened yesterday with the Artemis 2 that has gone into, at this moment in time, is gone into high orbit, which I do believe that this is the highest that we have been in 53 years, if we are believing it is true. But we will start the show tonight with a look back at Thaxted Guildhall, because we had an event on Saturday night, which was absolutely a brilliant little event. It was unique. It was tiny. We only had a small amount of guests. For the first time in Essex Ghost Hunters, we had more team leaders than we did guests that night. It was virtually one-on-one paranormal investigating. So we are going to have a look back. We are going to start our weekend, our bank holiday weekend, with a bang. So sit back, grab your beer. I know people are in the chat watching beer. There's a lot of you watching. We've got a lot of people watching. So join in the chat. I don't know if it's going to be Paul. Paul, can you do that for me? along the bottom as
Right,
well
mate.
in a minute. Because if you did come to the event and you do want to give us a message or ring up team members or guests, there is a mobile telephone number that will go along the bottom of the screen in a minute. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it will start with an 079 444 35529. That's 079 444 35529. That will come directly through to us, and you can put your questions on and whatever you do. If you're listening on our Spotify channel, that will not happen because it's not live. You are listening again. You are listening because you wasn't live. So it's catch up time. Just remember, we are on Spotify, so you can listen again as well. Right. Let's start the show. Let's get going and let's start talking. Simon, when we pulled up, how did it make you feel?
I wouldn't say apprehensive. I just thought I didn't think it was going to be that big. I didn't think it was going to be big enough until we actually got in there, and there was quite a lot of space. I wouldn't say over a lot of space, but then it didn't. Very heavy feeling. Yeah.
And I asked the same question to H. How did it make you feel?
Intrigued. I would say I was intrigued. Obviously, such a small little place, but I was sort of excited for the night because normally, like when we've done little places in the past, they've been brilliant little venues. So I was intrigued and sort of excited for what the night was going to bring more than anything else.
Good. And Mrs. A.
I thought it was cute and cosy. That's my girly opinion on it. I didn't feel any bad at all in looking at it. I just thought it looked pretty. The lights were on. It looked pretty, comfy and cosy.
Was there anybody home, though, if the lights were on?
There was.
That's what I liked. Yeah, no, I must admit, driving up to it down the road, you saw it from when you sort of come over the hill, didn't you? We sort of broke the hill into sort of Thaxted, and there it was, right at the end of sort of the road, glaringly in front of us. I didn't know at that point until we was told that many years ago we did a investigation in the John Webb windmill, which was just behind Thaxted Guildhall. So that was quite interesting. We'd been there before, but I don't think we would have picked up necessarily that was the Guildhall. So yeah, it really had this unique. It was very countrified, wasn't it? It did feel like you was sort of in the middle of nowhere, and that's what it would have been a very like a place to meet, wouldn't it? A place to sort of a community hub, wasn't it? Back in the day?
Welcoming.
Yes, it did. It really
did.
did.
They used to sell cutlery there, didn't they? That's what it first started with. It was like a cutlery place, or knives and things. So, which surprised me. I didn't know till after.
Well, you do now. So this event was split into two groups. There was just an up and a down. Very simple. So I'll hand over to, I'm going to go Sandra first. What happened in your first group?
The first group we had, I think there was a group of 4 and Stuart, or I believe's in that now. And we went upstairs first of all. Upstairs was like 2 rooms, but it was like a partitioned wall, so you could see all the way through. We had all the equipment up there, and the board. So we split into smaller groups, and we took our guests and we done some little investigation with the equipment. We had the FLIR camera, the rods and everything like that. So we started I took a couple of people and started doing some experiments with the rods. I think H took some people and was doing the rods, Maz. I think, was doing some of the fleur and stuff. And Tina, I believe at this point, had gone into the other section of the room and she was using her tarot cards to get stories. And it was quite nice to gather back together afterwards. And we got the same names and the same things as Tina whilst we was using rods. So that was quite nice to get that.
It's good.
And what was you bringing through? What was the story in question relating to?
Well, one of my guys picked up on personal messages from a loved one through the rods, and the other girl was picking up, we believe it was to be a magistrate or a judge, but it was a female, which was obviously odd for that time. But she used the letters above her head to get the name, and it spelled out the name Jane. And I don't think she got a full story from it, but she got that she was a magistrate and that other people didn't want her there because she was female. And I think Tina got something similar from the cards with the same name.
Well, that was really. We've got. Did anyone check it?
I think somebody looked, didn't they, H, to find a female judge called Jane somebody.
I think so.
I can't remember, but I think somebody did search for it afterwards and they found there was a magistrate called Jane.
Yeah, possibly.
I can't remember her name.
But yeah, I remember what you're saying, Sandra. What you guys picked up on in that, but I don't. Possibly someone did try and find it. I can't remember. So I think at that time, I think I was separated from you guys. So
Yeah, you had your own little
different.
people, didn't you? Yeah, yeah.
And
with the board, we've got nothing from the board at all. I think Andy was using the board, and we could not get the board to move at all.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get that going, I think.
Yeah, for us it was, yeah.
And so when you sort of, do you feel like this is what Tina has put? Yes, we did. We also got the name by God.
By God or be God, yeah.
One of her tormentors.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So what do you feel was stopping the board then, Sandra? Because it normally sort of works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to say it was a protection from one of the other guests, but I think it was a protection from one of the other guests. I do think they had a very strong protection, and that was stopping the board from actually moving. Because Andy said he could feel this. He could feel that there was spirit of the glass, but even when I said to him, just move the glass, because it was on one of those horrible little ring things that somebody's put on the board. I said, just push it a little bit to get it started. And he said he couldn't even push it. It was so, the glass was as if it was suctioned to the board.
Okay.
So you don't feel it may have been an energy of the place. You feel like someone was really quite tight on.
Yeah, I think it was a protection from somebody from the actual group. We tried table tipping up there, and we did get that to work a little bit. It was swinging backwards. It turned over a couple of times as well, didn't it, H?
Yeah, I think I heard you guys say it was swinging over a little bit, and it was back to
It's very hard to get it going on that carpet, though, wasn't it, Sandra?
It was, yeah. But we did get it to flip completely, which was really good. It did work for us that way. Yeah, that was it really with us on that section.
And Henry, you said you'd split at this time. So what was you picking up within?
Yeah, so because there was an energy lurking around, and I think this was the energy that sort of made itself known near to the end of the evening, like trying to force its way through. But it was kind of strange, really. I was just sort of focusing on that to see where that was sort of going. And Tina was sitting with me in the when we was up there. And then that's where obviously this name by God come through and things like that. And I think we misunderstood that at the time. But I just felt burning. I was really like red hot. I know the heating was on in there, but I was sitting in the corner and I could actually feel myself burning, like as if I was on fire. I was just sort of watching and trying to figure out. Well, say not figure out, but watch what spirit was showing me, if that makes sense. Yeah, whoever it was put 4 people to burn, 4 people to burn, but there was 5, and one of them weren't meant to be on there, and that was like the big thing that no one was meant to know. But I couldn't sort of go any more from there. I could see 4 or 5 people on the stake, and this person was lighting the flames, lighting them up, but then it was like I could only go so far, and it just like stopped all the time, just kept stopping. So I just sort of left that where it was, and that's what I was trying to figure out at the time when they were doing table tipping and things like that in the other room. I just had to sort of break my way away from it just to see what was sort of coming through and try to figure things out, but couldn't quite get there in the end. Never mind, is what it is.
Did we work out, Adrian, it was Jane who had put them to the stake?
Sorry, Mrs. A.
Did we work out whether it was Jane who had put these people to the? I can't remember.
No,
Did we-
I couldn't figure. That's the thing. Like I had this energy, but then when I sort of think back and sort of look back, and I think the energy that we came across downstairs, I feel was different. Could have been different. Because when I was around that energy, I didn't feel like I was on fire.
Yeah.
It just felt really hot, really overwhelmingly hot. It just came out of nowhere as well, but I could feel it all over my arms and like my neck, my face. So, I'm not putting that down to heating.
What, in that place? It was like a sweat house up that top bit.
Yeah, but I won't put it. Yeah, but
the bottom bit wasn't. But that top bit,
yeah,
that was awful. So
I've got the heating on now, and I'm not. That's not happening to me now. Do you know what I mean? The heating's on now, and that's not happening to me now. I'm quite comfortable, and I'm not burning up all over my arms and my neck and my face. So I know what you're saying, though, mate. It was hot up there. It was bloody hot up there. That's why I had to sort of sit down and think: is it because of this? Is it because of that? But obviously, as I started to focus in more, and spirit was starting to show me what I was starting to see. So. Obviously, you just put 2 and 2 together, didn't you?
Okay.
Yeah. I
know. Paul, any questions for the team?
No.
Good. Right. So that was your first session, then, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite happy with that. Right, Simon. I shall move on to your first session, and I believe you was in the cells area, wasn't you?
We were downstairs in the cellar part, and it was quite interesting because we started to use the equipment, and we had a few flashes. And we did have children down there, and I was sent there by this headmaster, and I kept calling him a headmaster. And it wasn't till afterwards, it wasn't till earlier this week that I actually, because I thought I got it wrong, because his name was Wetherall. He kept calling himself John Wetherall, and he was chastising these children, and I couldn't find him anywhere. But I thought, right, I can't have this wrong. I've got the year of 1825 that he was there, and he was sending these children to a holding cell.
Was it John Wetherall?
Wetherall, yeah, but he wasn't a teacher, and I kept calling him headmaster. He was a reverend. He was a reverend who used to teach at Thaxted Guildhall. That was the difference. So I actually found him yesterday or the day before. It might have been Tuesday. Was it work? Yeah, it was. So it was Tuesday. But every time he came into the room, the children would disappear, and they would go away from our guests and sit with Jane, who was sitting over the other side. So they would go and hide behind Jane, who would get cold. But the rope EMF, rainbows, that kept going off just periodically when they come back. So what I decided to do was send one of the guests, and was it Lisa? Yeah, it was Lisa, up into where them cells were, or 2 of the guests. I think I sent Andrea, I can't remember the girl's name. It's got a scratch down her back.
Georgina
No, was it Georgina? Oh, it might have been. Was it Georgina?
or
Yeah.
Georgia, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent them two up, and then Lisa went with them, and we didn't hear much. But then the children come out to play because they were holding. Yeah, that's it. The ribbon EMF was going up quite well, and we started to get answers on the Mike's machine. Started to give us answers as well. Started to spell out words. But then the men started. They come away from Jane. The children come away from Jane and started to interact within the group. So it was really, really good. And when they brought the girls back down, the children went back to Jane. So she got all the children once again. And this John Weatherall came back. So I don't think he was. Yeah, Georgina was scratched. Yeah, with the cross on her back. So that was really weird. And these children were being misunderstood because they were being put down there because they were dyslexic. They weren't being naughty. They just couldn't do the lessons that he wanted them to do. Because I think he was teaching Latin and something else. Well, if a child's got like reading difficulties, they're not going to be able to do Latin either, and things like that. So it's really, really an active session and really, really quick. And we did have a couple of EMFs go off, or REM pods go off on the stairs as well, which were good. And they kept the thing kept saying to us, shelf. We couldn't see a shelf, but we did at the end, but it was too late because it was on the windowsill. But yeah, so we had a really, really good first session. Really cracking. I could, can't wish for much more.
Such a good protector.
Yeah, that's what the children kept running.
Is it?
So the other two, what they were sent where?
Well, we were down in the cellar, but there was this cell there, yeah, and it was called it was just like a holding cell. So if somebody got drunk in the town, that's where they get slung for the night, or if they robbed something or stolen something or wanted to appear caught somewhere else, that's where they were held. So it was like a little lockup.
The children would come out when they were in the cell, and one of the people that were in the cell got scratched.
Yes.
While they were in the cell.
Yeah, with a cross on the back.
A cross.
Yeah.
Ah, right. So obviously the fella that they were scared of.
Reverend.
Yeah,
the Reverend. And I was calling him a headmaster. That's probably why it pissed him off, because I wasn't calling him what he should have been called.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing wrong.
Wow.
Should have been called Reverend. Reverend Weatherall was his name, but hey, he's in spirit.
What I'll do is, if I can, I shall bring the photo on screen for you. Bear with me a second, because I do believe I can drop photos in. Where I drop them is a different kettle of fish, but now I don't know where it's gone. That's got to go over to there, and that can drop into there. And then what I shall do is I shall add the photo to the screen. No, I can't. That's going to over that. Why can't I do that? Well, that's not going to help me, is it? Why is that not? Why has that gone like that? Why has that done that?
No, we're back.
Well, is what I'll do is then, if I do I do go there and do that. That will load that up. Then I can go screen share, and then go there, start screen share, window, and then we should be able to see that the scratch mark. So for all our guests, as you can see, it is a sign of a cross, and it you can quite clearly see. Can you see that, Paul?
Yeah.
And it's somewhere that you won't be able to do it. That's the thing. You'd find it very hard to get to where she's got to make that sign. So I think there's quite a lot of marks.
A lot of people are effective with scratches and bruises and pains and everything like that throughout the night. But you know, you could look at this two ways. To be fair, with the sign of the cross here, you know, I know that you was talking about religion, and you had the John Wetherall that was a vicar or a priest or reverend, or like that. So we know it was sort of a religious sort of place in time, but I think that's, you know, if people are going to see that and they're going to actually sort of think that's very horror filmish, you know, that's something that you would see in the film of The Exorcist with the cross etched onto someone's, you know, body. But I did, when I actually saw the cross, because when we had the break, the young lady come down and she had a smoke outside, and she showed us the scratch, and she wasn't worried, and I thought that was a very good sign, because I don't think it was necessarily
a worrying.
Yeah,
it wasn't a worrying. How can you put it? It wasn't a worrying scratch, like you would get. I think it was just him trying to show who he was.
Was he trying to protect her?
I wouldn't have said down there he was trying to protect her, no, because I think he was very. Something was going on, and his wife knew what was going on.
So, but then I see. But I don't know. I think you'd only look two ways at this cross. You're either looking at something quite sinister, or you are looking at, like how I'm seeing it as Sandra, as a cross. I don't think a reverend would just go and put a sign of a cross on someone, without being some form of protection, or we're going something that it wasn't him that put it on her.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Or was it the sign that I've had her?
What? But people will get, more than one person got scratched.
Yeah.
And someone got bruised.
Yeah, I got bruised just there on my hand.
It wasn't a worrying place. I mean, from my point of view.
You needed some toilet roll, Paul.
Yeah, I just don't. I say a lot of Tina got scratched, Simon got bruised. I think
you got bruised, didn't you?
I've got a bruise opposite hand to you, but in exactly the same place.
Weird.
Someone had something with their eye, a scratch on their eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was pretty much before the night really sort of got on, sort of going, so to speak. This was sort of just in the base room and sort of the lead up to it. I think momentum really grew as the night went on. But yeah, I say, sort of sit here talking to you guys like regarding that scratch. You know, I don't.
Perhaps we're just becoming used to that sort of thing. If you can get used to that sort of thing.
Yeah, but we're used to scratches and lines. But that cross was the sign of the holy. You know, that was.
Yeah.
It wasn't an X, as in that X. It was a sign of a cross.
You
could clearly see it. It was a holy sign of a cross, which, in theory, could have been quite sinister. But I don't think that if that was a mark of intention of I've had her, that he would put the sign of a holy cross.
No, maybe not.
I think it would be, for me, how she come down, and, you know, we're putting it to him that did it. You know, throughout the night, it might not have been the same presence or the same energy scratching everybody, but it could have been a protection thing. It could have generally be a protection, because, you know, you wear a cross because it reminds me of the cross on your necklace, Simon. You got your necklace out. That's exactly what it reminds me of. You know, you don't put a cross on you like what I would call the Holy Cross, unless it was either sinister or protection. I don't get a middle ground for it in my head, and I didn't. and the way the lady come across, she come across very calm and collective.
Yeah, it
Oh.
wasn't scary. The children, the spirit was more scared of the spirit, if you get what I mean, at that place.
Yeah.
When that spirit entered, when he's present, the spirit entered that room, the children were off. You wouldn't get them. But as soon as he left that room, the children would come out to play. And he definitely left that room when they went down, when Lisa, Georgina, and Andrea went down to the holding cell. He definitely went with them in spirit.
How did she feel, Si, when it first happened?
I think she felt all right. Yeah, I don't know, because Lisa brought it to my attention, so Lisa would have been with her at the time. So I'd have to
So I'm
ask
assuming
Lisa.
she felt it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I presume so. Lisa's in the chat. Lisa, did she feel that happened, that cross on her back?
No, Tina also said, look, it felt like being stabbed with a needle when Tina got scratched. Your hand, Sandra, I don't think you realised you'd got it, did you?
No,
Until
I didn't.
And nor did I.
So, Henry, you never had no scratches or marks in that way?
No.
Anyone in your group at that time?
In the cellar, down in the cellar, we did, didn't we?
didn't we?
Right, so we'll hold there for a minute because we'll go on to group 2 in a minute. But yeah, we've asked the questions, we put it out there. We have been asked a question. Craig, just keep going. I think I've cracked it. And next time, I'm not sure. Just keep going. Meditating is your key, Craig. Okay, just keep meditating, and I'll message you privately. All right. So, right. So, do you think that we've wrapped up session 1 with good aplomb?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything?
I've missed, but you know it goes as it goes. It goes. It's quite whizzes by.
Right. So then we shall move on to session 2. And it's all I'll say is that I received a message this morning from one of our guests. Okay. It was from Andrea. Okay. And this is how it went. I just want to say a massive thank you for a great evening on Saturday night. As you was aware, Dean, my husband, had been very, very skeptical about the whole stuff, whatever we do. But now he's totally convinced. He's gone from being a skeptic to loving it and telling all his friends about it.
Brilliant.
And that just sums up sometimes how it works, because I would say probably 85% to 90% of our guests are female when you look over it over the course of time. 9 times out of 10 that the male presence there is a husband that is going along for the ride because he's got to take the partner. He doesn't necessarily want to be there. But how many times do we come out and the partner, husband at the time, has gone, wow, there might be something. It always works quite nicely. And that's what happens, is that actually does give you a sense that what we are doing is a good job, you know. And when you take someone that is skeptical and within 5 hours you're turning them into a believer, something has touched him deep inside. So yeah, to be fair, it did pick on him the first session.
Yeah, down in the cellar, it was using him as a human pendulum, and that's the first. I believe it might have been his first time. I don't know, but he got pushed forwards and backwards. Also, he had a child hold his hand when Andrea went to the cells, and he felt the temperature change on his hands, and he couldn't quite believe it because he said it's gone really cold. He said my hand has gone cold, from hot to cold. So yeah, it was good.
He's never done it before.
Wow,
He's never
that's
done
really
it
good
before.
then.
And I'd safely say the messages leading up to it, he was very, very nervous about doing it as well. So, that just makes everything a better place when you get a message like that come through. Right. So we've had our cup of tea. We've had our tea and biscuits. We've had a bag of crisps. And we're going to come out the sweating boiling hot room, and we're all going to a different part. So, Simon, I believe you went upstairs, and Sandra and Henry, you went downstairs. So,
yeah,
I'll go with Simon on this one first. Simon, what happened to you in your second session?
Lisa had an absolute blinding bald. Had a really good bald session. It picked up on one of our guests there, and I'm not going to say too much, but he had to leave the board because it really upset him. So Mike went and talked to him, but the board carried on. I think there was other messages coming through. I know Jane got a message that she won't want me to share, and I won't share, but she got a message and had to come off the board. We had the table tipping. Really, really hard to get a table to tip up there on that carpet. But as you said, Sandra, we did get it moving. We got it across the line, and it worked really, really well. Yeah, a man was affecting the table. Huh?
Sorry, my phone just kicked in. Sorry.
But it was all about bold. I think it was all about bold up there. Seemed to go again, another session that went really, really quick, and everybody got something out of it, which is really nice. Again, nothing to worry about. The messages there weren't bad; they were just messages of a personal nature. So yeah, really good, really good.
And that just sort of not highlights, because that's too strong a word, but from a session that had no board to a session that become active, it does feel like Mrs. A that there was, don't use the strong word of saying blocking it, but it does feel like there was some form of protector around that board.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Jane the Fruit Picker. I can't remember Jane the Fruit Picker. I can't remember it. Perhaps my memory's not good enough. Jane the Fruit Picker.
No, I can't help you on that one, unfortunately.
Okay. Can you elaborate a bit, Matt? Because I can't. My mind's gone blank on that one. Or Lisa, or anybody.
No, I can't help you on that one. I wasn't there, so. But
we had two really good sessions, but so different to each other in a way. Because we kept the same people. That's the first time in a long time we've done that as well. We kept the same guests, which we would normally change around, which I found worked really well because we had longer to work with them, so you knew what you're working with. But in the two sessions, it was just totally different.
Well, it sounds like your first session was energies from the place, and the second session was personal energies that come with the guests.
Exactly that, Bob. That's exactly how it went. And it made it go really, really quickly. So,
did you go into the where we had the coffees and tea side? Did you go in that room? No, we didn't either, did we?
No. And perhaps we should have done, but
there was a young girl that was local, and Jay thought was a fruit picker that come through to the local market.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I do sort of vaguely remember it.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I can't help you on that one, unfortunately. So, what was your? So, is that all that sort of went on? Any stories that you can pick up on, or it was just more personal?
It was more personal. Yeah, definitely more personal in there. Yeah. and two really blinding ones that you couldn't have worked out. And the girl also got a message up there, but I won't say that either on here.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, because we know the message, which is it was a lovely message, and let's just hope it goes in the right direction for that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was my second session. Doesn't sound a lot, but there was a lot packed in there. Sometimes when it doesn't sound a lot, it's good.
Exactly that. Sometimes it's like when they say about a midfielder in football, when their name don't get mentioned, that means they're doing their job. Right, Mrs. A and Henry. Let's start with you, Henry. Your second session, you was down in the basement area, and I'll throw that over to you.
Yeah, well, everybody told me it was cold down there, but when we got down there, I didn't think it was as cold as what I was expecting it to be, which is a bonus. Yeah, it was a bit of a strange little room. There's lots of little bits and pieces and things and that in there, which I don't think, well, probably weren't a part of the building. They probably brought in there for like a museum factor sort of thing. But anyway, so yeah, so we started going off and started working, and I know Tina was picking up on some things, and I know Sandra was with Andy, but we all just sat down, and the 4 new guests, I picked up on an energy in front of them, and he was walking up and down them, and he was saying "Inny, mini, miny, mo," and he actually picked, I can't remember the guy's name. Can you, Sandra?
James. And
he actually picked him, and I said to him, obviously I told him what I was seeing, and I was sort of copying what he was what this energy was doing. So when I said he's picking one of you, this James said, "Well, what for?" So I said, "I don't know. We're gonna have to find out, aren't we?" Well, then with that, he's felt a tap on his shoulder, and he's jumped up and screamed, and with up surprise, and
Totally natural response.
Yeah, and
As you would, Paul.
he was wearing glasses, wasn't he, Sandra? And he said that his face was burning, but he could feel like his eye, the glasses were melting onto his face. He was getting that hot, and I haven't sent it over to you yet, Russ, but we've got a picture. He's taken his glasses off, and on this side you can actually see like a red line, where like from his frame, which marked his face. So that was very sort of odd. And then a 5p appeared from nowhere, which I felt was quite strange. That appeared on the floor. At the time, I thought it might have fallen out of my pocket, but I've been thinking about that since then, and I'm like, well, I know I did not have a 5p in my pocket, and where it landed, it was a bit of a distance away from where I was standing. Because at the time, I said, "Oh, it could have been me. It might have fallen out of my pocket." But then, as I'm sort of thinking about that now, I don't recall ever having a 5p in my jacket pocket. And then Spirit told me to flip the coin.
Your pocket, did it? It sounded like it had thrown and it like across the floor.
Yes, yeah, it did. And this energy told me to flip the coin in front of the two men, the two James and the other. I can't remember his name either.
Tom.
And I'm not terrible. Sorry if they're listening. I'm sorry if they tuned in. I've forgotten your names. I do apologise.
You only had 5 in your group.
Do you know what the brilliant thing is about it? I've applied for a fireman. Can you imagine if I get it and I have to remember people's names? It's going to be hilarious.
No. Do you remember the girls' names?
But this spirit told me to flip the coin. So obviously I said to these 2 guys, which one wants head, which ones want tails. So Tom says, I'm heads. So obviously James was tails. So we flip the coin, it lands, and obviously once again it's on tails. It lands on tails. So that for me is another way of saying that this energy is proven in another way that it's picked this James to affect. even though, yeah, okay, he had the mark on his face and he's had the tap on the shoulder, but for me, that's just another way of spirit saying, look, use the coin. This is another way of me proving that I've picked this man to, pardon me, affect, so to speak. That was that for me. I don't know what it's like for you, Mrs. A. What were you getting down there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we first got down there, Tina and Sam were picking up on a shadow, and Tina tried to replicate the shadow, and she couldn't because it was like it was coming. I think it was like coming from above, and wherever Tina tried to walk from, the shadow would look like it come from the floor level. But what they were seeing was the shadow from above coming down. And I think they picked up on cold spots, both her and Sam. But when Henry was doing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, it was like there was, I didn't pick up child, but juvenile energy there, like trying to mess around and things like that. But there was an Aggie bloke there that was trying to contact Andy. And he did manage, I think, to get Andy at one point. And he wasn't a very nice man, but he was his energy was very, very strong down there.
Just sort of putting it out there, you know, we've listened. I've listened to both sort of sessions there. I know we've got a third one, and what you've just saying, okay, and we've got, but Simon, you sort of suggested in your first session in there that we had this young lady who had this mark on her, and you sort of put it down to I've had you, in that sort of sense. And then we've got Henry picking up on an energy that is actually picking on someone, going eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
That sounds very similar. This sounds like a very linked some form of story here, because what you're saying, it's like a marking of something, and then in Sandra and Henry's group, we've got a same sort of, he's picking on, this energy could be picking on somebody or wanting something.
And did it leave a mark on one of the blokes there then?
Yeah, his glasses.
Yeah.
But can I just ask, what did he pick him for? So he picked 3 different things to say, yeah, I've picked you. But then what happened?
To be honest with you, my attention sort of turned to Andy and Sandra at that point. So I didn't quit quite to the end of that, unfortunately. But
sorry, I just didn't.
That was interesting, wasn't it, Mrs. A? Wasn't it?
Didn't mean to throw you under the bus there, but I just wanted to know what he was.
No, you're right. It got very interesting. I think it changed from like.
It probably. Did you try to go to the cell, that holding cell, with any of them?
No, I didn't.
No.
So I picked up on the name James Wetherall. There were children running around the REM pods and were going off.
John Wetherall, at least. And I kept calling him Headmaster Wetherall. He wasn't. He was a Reverend Wetherall, and he did teach at the Guildhall. He did teach at the Guildhall in the 1820s.
And he said he wanted to leave the building, the man wanting to leave the building.
The spirit man or the man that got picked 3 times?
The energy, the man.
The energy, yeah.
Yeah.
So could he have been in a prison there?
Possibly, I don't know.
Henry's done an American style ghost hunt on us, where they get half the story, then don't finish it.
Well, sorry, like I said, my attention was taken to Sandra, because the
spirit.
I don't know if Mrs. A wants me to say, but obviously Mrs. Do you want me to carry on, Sandra? Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Go for it.
I sort of looked around the room because I think Andy said that someone was he's feeling this gentleman or whatever, and obviously then I've turned and I've just looked, and there's Mrs. A staring at me with like the most daring like dagger eyes. She don't stare at me like she never stares at me like that, to be honest with you.
Stared at me like that before.
So I just turned to her and I went, Spurs are going down, nothing. Spurs are going down, nothing. Just a blank expression. So then I know she's not there. So obviously then you just sort of proceed with what you need to do to try and figure out what's what. Obviously I gave the energy a chance to speak, nothing. Gave it a chance to speak again, nothing. So I just started to bring back Sandra. I started to bring her back, and then that's when it spoke, didn't it? And she sort of got in my face and told me to back off. She raised the voice a little bit, but then obviously I retaliated and I said it back, and it just got a little bit. I wouldn't say it got heated, but it went from like a very sort of calm session to sort of like raised a little bit more, and then it was just trying to get obviously Sandra back, which thankfully I did, and I'll take it from there. You can go from there, Sandra.
Oh, I just went upstairs and chucked up, basically.
There you are.
Which I don't think I've ever done at an event before.
No,
I just think it was a very strong energy. I don't remember anything other than I was trying to protect Andy from this spirit, because obviously being Andy, I didn't want him to be taken over too much. And then I think it was a very, very strong energy.
It was down there. Seriously, I do think it was.
So you called him Cannon?
Yeah. So I think, yeah. So I was trying to get what he was.
In the second group, glad I'm older. Bad stabbing pain. Yeah, Jane had pain in the arm, lock up. So, yes. Right, I'm just going to pick up on something there that probably is only going to make sense to three of us in the chat. So, Sandra, you let this energy come through you. It was a gentleman. You felt like he was trying to get out. Do you felt he was bad, or? I
didn't feel that I wanted to get out. I felt it was an aggressive energy, but I didn't.
Aggressive.
Aggressive. I didn't feel that he wanted to get out. I just felt that he was a very aggressive person towards anybody that was going to be in that area.
Okay, right. So this is where I go with it. Okay, I want to say that energy that Sandra picked up, you've had before, because we had the same problem with you at the Webb Museum, the windmill.
Yeah, we did.
The road.
Oh.
And do you know what we were using at the windmill? Remember? It was a school desk.
I remember the desk.
Yeah. And
I didn't put it two and two together as being the same energy. I didn't think about that.
But would you remember it? That's the thing. Would you remember this energy that overlaid you at the Thaxted windmill? Because I only remember it took a long time for you to come back.
Yeah.
It did take a long time for her to come back.
All I remember at the windmill was being on the floor outside.
In the grass, yeah.
And I do remember there was something about Duncan was opening the desk and I didn't want that opened.
Yeah.
And here it was just an aggressive thing, but I hadn't put two and two together to be able to say it could have been the same energy, quite possibly, I guess.
I think there's a link there because, there's a big gap between that and this one. We're talking probably in excess of 10 years here.
It must have been, yeah.
At least that.
Yeah.
And I probably could count a handful of times in that gap where you've gone into some form of sort of trance-like state. One obviously being Shepton Mallet, one being Cannock Chase. So I can't sort of say this happens on a regular basis with you, but to have the same sort of thing happened within probably a vicinity of 200 to 300 yards, and the same sort. I say I can't necessarily remember sort of the to and fro of obviously what happened in the windmill, and obviously I wasn't with you in your group, so I can't really comment on it. Is all I remember is, to be fair, and I don't take this the wrong way, any of you guys, because you did it right, but I got the radio call to come down to see you, and so, but when you saw me, Mrs. A, you knew who I was, didn't you? You didn't act as if it was different to me.
You didn't come down to us in the cellar, though, did you?
No, but she was coming up.
Yeah. No.
I met you at the door. Someone was putting you out the door, and you walked past me and went, "I'm all right, Russ, I'm all right." And you walked down them funny little steps out onto the roadside.
Yeah.
And whoever was with you at that time, I don't really know. I don't know if it was Tina or Henry or whoever was with you, seemed to get it under control. It seemed to not hold as bad as it did in Thaxted.
In the windmill.
Yeah, sorry, the windmill. Yeah.
No, I mean, as I say, the only thing I can say that would have been different was I had to get out of there to use their flower pots, so to speak. But
yeah, it's fine.
But to be honest, I don't remember seeing you coming out.
What did you use flower pots for?
She was sick.
Yeah, chucked upside.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could have been quite polite then, just said you use for grounding. You didn't have to put chucked up. You said, I could have used it for grounding.
I would use it for grounding.
Universal energy. That would have been the best.
That's why I called. Yeah. That's why I called on the radio, because obviously I was just, as far as all the years that we've been with you guys, I've never known Sandra to be sick.
No.
And I knew she was back, but I just wanted to make sure she was okay. I was just concerned for her, really, more than anything else.
Sound like she turned into a bloody cat, digging a hole, puked in it, and then covered it back up.
That's why I radioed, Russ. I was just more concerned for her well-being more than anything. But we spoke yesterday on the phone, didn't we, Mrs. A? Yeah. A nice bag about all that, didn't we? So
yeah,
clear things up.
Well, it was good. Tina said, yes, I did not feel it was threatening. She said, and that she would be okay. Yeah, it was just, as I
we all got the feeling, though, that it wasn't threatening, which is really weird, because when you think about what it had done down there, it was threatening, wasn't it? But
see, this is where when people do documentaries and they make it a lot more scarier than you think, because you're always all there saying it wasn't threatening. But when you tell the story from an outsider listening to it, oh yeah, I got bruised, I got scratched, I got taken over, I had to run out and throw up, I had to do this, I had to do that. And I think, fuck, it sounds terrifying.
Loved it, Paul.
Yeah. But it does, doesn't it? But it's true, like, nothing felt threatening there.
No.
Like, nothing did. Nothing worried anybody, I don't think.
No.
Oh yeah, and I forgot the guy's face melted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was cherry.
Yeah. Apart from the woman's head turning 360, don't worry about it. Fine. I want to know if Lisa is having a bank holiday drink, because when Sandra went outside, she was really angry. That's very unusual for Sandra. What a load of old cock. Have you not heard the potty mouth Sandra, Lisa? How many glasses are you for a Thursday night? You know?
Sorry, Lisa.
Perhaps it wasn't anything we could handle, so we were all chilled out.
Yeah, completely.
Right. I think you're just nice to Lisa and just horrible to the rest. That's what I'm going with.
But the rest of the evening, though, the rest of the evening after that, Mrs. A, like, because we've done the seance, didn't we? And she just kept giving me daggers ever since then. It's only until the end of the night I looked at Sandra, and it was like everything was fine again. Everything was fine again. So, Andy had a bit of experience down there as well, didn't he, Sandra?
Yeah.
We'd tried to, because obviously some of the guests wanted him to sort of go into his trance sort of state and things, and I think we done the best to sort of control it the way we could control it. Obviously, I can't speak for Andy, but I think he was okay, because I know that's when at the end of the night I was outside with him and he was just sort of, you know, doing his process of whatever he does. So, yeah. So it was very interesting down there. Very interesting down there.
It was a very, very interesting place. It was a very interesting place.
I liked it. I liked it.
Well, to be fair, I think it did sort of crescendo to the end, because we did one big seance at the end around the biggest table. Now, Paul, you were probably with us. Do you remember the seance that we did at the Sandwich Guildhall? When I'm sure you filmed it.
Yeah.
It was massive and the table lifted.
Was it more than one table?
Yes, there was.
What, in the Guildhall, Sandwich Guild?
Yeah, in the Guildhall.
It was two massive tables like the one we had. It was a solid table, but there was two of them because it kept sitting in the middle.
Right,
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so take this back. It's wrong what I was going to say. But this table was one lump, Paul. It was the same size of that, and it took, 5 of us to lift it one side at the end.
Yeah.
But the table lifted off the ground.
Bloody hell.
It was epic. Yeah, I did scream. I did a scream. And everyone felt this table lift. And it was, how did the hell the spirit move that? I'll never know. It was huge. It was solid. It was oak.
Yeah.
It was the top of the table. If I'm saying it was a good 3 inches thick.
Wow.
It had letters carved in it 3 inches thick, didn't it? All around the edge. And we did one big seance, and the cup, we didn't really have much when we said, like, in context of, for an hour that it was sitting there, the REM pod went off a couple of times. I think people felt something go around them a couple of times. But this table towards the end lifted off the floor, and everyone felt it. Everyone felt it.
Wow.
Which
and
was
the rain shaker went down, didn't it?
Yes, that was it. Yes, we asked it to stand up. The rainmaker thing, which was a plastic.
Oh yeah.
I stood it up in the middle of the table, and we said, "Look, we're going in a minute. Make it move." And by God, it moved it. It fell over.
It did.
Wow.
It, yeah.
I must admit, I didn't know what you was on about then when you said the rainmaker until Simon gave me that very descriptive.
You got it though, didn't you?
Yes, I know what you're about. Yeah. But I knew. Well done.
He got it. Spot on. He's spot on. So, overall, it was a really good night. I'll let you three sum it up. I'll go to Henry.
Really good.
It was a very interesting night. How would you sum it up, Henry?
I think it's a really good night for what the size of the place was. I think there's more there. There's so much more there. I think it's definitely got to be done again. Definitely got to be done again, even if it's just like a team night and we go there. Because I would like to go to, obviously, you had that lovely big church at the back. I would love to go up there. And obviously, I think it's just got a lot of history to the place as well. Not just the Guildhall, but Thaxted as a whole has got a lot of history. I would imagine so. So I'd love to go back there. Definitely. Brilliant place, in my opinion.
Well, that might just happen. Let's just wait and see. Sandra?
Yeah, I thought it had a lot of potential. I don't think we fully exercised all the potential. As I say, we didn't go into one of the rooms upstairs. Simon didn't. We didn't go into the little cell thing downstairs. So I think there's a lot more that we can investigate there. It'll be good to get back there to have a little look and work as a team in there. Be good.
Well, we will make it work if we can. And Simon, I'll let you have the final word on Thaxted Guildhall Museum.
I think it was a really good place. I think we have got used to expecting a lot from a place. And I think, yeah, we probably barely scratched the surface of that place because it is, if you like, I'll do it just for Henry. It's under. And I think it's under and it leads to the church and it leads to the windmill. I think we all get to expect things to happen. When they happen now, we're not even flinching. Whereas other people will be going, holy crap. We're just sitting there and we're used to it. And that, in many ways, it's a little bit worrying.
But I think Paul summed it up quite well with his little summary of everything, because we took everything as like little bits and pieces, but Paul summing it up for us, Paul, I think he's done really well summing it up as what we really did get there was quite a lot, really.
But it's not until a guest comes at like what the message was sent to Russ. If you said to me, was that one of your best events, I would have said probably not. But then thinking that, it probably was, because we had activity for 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different place. It was definitely a very unique. And I do think that, you know, the size of the venue plays a massive part. It was very controlled. It was in your, you know, you think when you go to places like Shepton Mallet and you go to these vast castles, you know, the forts, there's an open space. You know, this is it's on you. You're in that moment. You can't really break out of it. You know, you haven't got anywhere else to go, which was, I thought, was a good way of doing it, because when we go to sort of some of these places, you have 2 or 3 locations within an area that you got to cover within an hour and a bit. That it was just in that one room, that solid, nearly 2 hours.
We think it's very similar to the little village hall we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that never fails to give either, does it?
No, that's great. That little one, that's very good.
Yeah, so, I think it was great teamwork, as always.
Great.
As always, and we tried a different thing where we kept the same people, which, you know, we all adapted to as well. It wasn't a case of, oh shit, I don't want to do that. It was a case, no, yeah, let's give it a go. What's it gonna hurt?
And to be fair, we threw it to the guests. We didn't make a choice on it. The guests we let them decide. So that was a good, I thought it was a very good, and the feedback, obviously, you know, I get the messages come in from different people, because, you know, I know the people that were coming that night and they'd never been on a ghost hunt before. And yeah, the feedback was second to none. Do you know what I mean? I think everybody really enjoyed it. There will, hopefully, over the weekend, I did see Matt was going to do a little bit of the video footage, looking at the video footage for us. So he tried a new camera out for us, a little new camera that he's got. So we might have some clips coming onto our socials over the next couple of days. Fingers crossed, keep everything so you can have a little feedback of that as well. But no, a good evening by all, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Right. So that is that. We've got 10 minutes left. H and Sandra, if you want to go, you can go, but you're welcome to stay to the end, because we are going to change the subject completely up. Because I'm going to change it from ghost hunting to Artemis 2 for the next 10 minutes.
Well, I'm going to stay to make sure you don't say the moon's not real.
Yeah, I'll stay. I'm here. I might as well stay to the end.
So, I haven't really said anything. I had a brief conversation with Simon today about it. but I'm just going to let you know my views, and I just want everybody else to think if I'm just thinking of anything different. Okay, right? I'm not sitting here and saying that the rocket never took off yesterday. Okay, I think it was quite clear and obvious that something left, Cape Canaveral at that time. Okay, but it was the lead up to it. Okay, you've got to remember that it was very, very planned, and I didn't know, but when they went to the moon the first time, it was the 1st of April that they went. Was it 1965? Am I saying that about right?
69. First time.
First time.
No, Simon, what year was it?
Right.
I think it was around.
I know West Ham won the World Cup in 1966. It was probably the year before that.
First time they went to the moon, or first time man went to the moon?
I don't know. There was a link to. It was either the first time they landed on the moon or went to the moon. Whatever it was saying, it was done. It was on the 1st of April that rocket took up. So 63 could be 63. Yeah. Mark Hansen. So Apollo landed in July. So I'm not saying anything was fake at this point. Okay, I watched it live. I thoroughly quite enjoyed it. I know the countdown and things like that. I know it got pushed back due to technical issues and everything like that. But it's what I didn't understand is that the astronauts were placed in the rocket 4 hours to 5 hours prior to takeoff, or whatever you want to call it, launch. And only 4 other people were allowed within a 2-mile radius of that rocket. 4 people. And you saw them clearly on camera. Okay. They were there locking the doors, doing their tests. They had face masks on. Why they've got face masks on, I don't know.
COVID.
It baffled me completely. So at this point, I felt, look, you're sitting you're sitting four people in a rocket that is a size of a back of a VW camper van, and they're going to be in that for 10 days, right? Eating, going to the toilet. So they're putting that in there for 5 hours prior to launch. Okay, I know they've got to do their tests and everything like that, and I know life is on the line at this point. I still think that's rather drastic. Now, we're getting to the T-minus, 10, 9, 8. Rocket takes off. We've got loads of cameras, so we can't hide the fact that something has taken off. Okay? Can't hide that fact. Something left Cape Canaveral. What bothered me was prior to the build-up, they were showing me pictures in the cockpit of the 4 astronauts. During launch, we saw none of that. We saw no one in the cockpit during launch. Okay? None of it. There was no communication. You heard their voices. Please go and listen to the audio, because the audio is crystal clear. And this thing is going at, what is it?
Mach 12, isn't it?
2,600 miles per hour. And the bloke is talking like he's driving a car down the road. And it then got me thinking, right, do I let my brain wander here? Do I let it go to the point astronauts are always placed in the rocket? I get it, Stuart. I do get it. And I know there's a lot on the line if they're in that rocket. Okay? If they're in that rocket. so my brain was sitting there thinking, I don't know. So I watched it all again this morning. I watched it not live again this morning, and I wanted to see live pictures. I wanted to see live pictures of what I'm seeing. What am I seeing? Well, that's all they're showing me is a back of an arse end of a rocket with what looks like Earth or a moon in the background. Where? And let's see, I'll probably get taken off air for it.
Isn't the YouTube live tracker all CGI? It's just a simulation showing you where they should be now and things like that.
No.
You're not even getting live footage.
No, it should be. There should be an official live stream of it, but I don't know if it's gone down, which is now even crazy because you're right. It is. The live tracker has changed to
CGI.
Yeah, CGI of a picture, which wasn't there this morning. And I read the synopsis, and the synopsis told me that if the screen was blue, they're using internet bandwidth, and it may not be able to cope with stream. If it goes black, if the screen is black, then it's dark. Okay.
Space. Fucking dark. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I get it, right? I get it. But this morning, there was a picture, literally a live camera on the arse end of the rocket or the thing that's going around. And, they're quite happy to tell us that they're going to send it round in low orbit, then they're going to send it round in high orbit, then they're going to start the engines and head for the moon. It's going to take 4.5 days. And they're going to do everything that you do in Hollywood when that, God forbid if anything happens, okay? God forbid, and the people are on it, because that's dreadful. But every time someone goes in a spaceship, what do? They've just got enough power to get to the dark side of the moon to bring up moon's gravity to slingshot it round and send it back to Earth, and they always make it. What are they doing? Exactly that. They're making their way to the arse side of the moon to pick up the moon's gravity and swing it back round to Earth. Now, that's fine. And my whole point to this is, what is the point of this mission? What is the point? Go and land on the bloody moon, because we've seen this 1,000 times.
Well, so they're not landed on the moon?
No,
they're not.
No, they're just slingshotting around it to prove they can go there again after 50 years. Because don't forget, Russ, now they'd lost the technology to go to the moon for 50 years. Now, all of a sudden, they've got the technology again. This is the excuse we're given. They've got the technology again, using a rocket almost exactly the same as what they used the first time round, apart from the extra bit, obviously. But, yeah, I'm with you, Russ. Something don't add up to me.
Infrared picture, the dark side.
Wasn't the live footage of these 4 guys that were shutting the doors and that, all with the masks on, I think, so it hides their sniggering? Because wasn't one of them giving a little jig?
Honestly, Paul,
the geezer's locking doors, making sure nothing happens to these astronauts, and he was giving a little jig.
Honestly, nothing. The more I looked at it, look, I'm not sitting here and saying nothing took off, because I think you can categorically say something took off. Yeah. I just don't think anybody was in that rocket at this point, because I think that's what the 4 hours was, to get them out somehow without anybody seeing. I bet there's a tunnel that's going down into the ground.
Well, it is an escape pod, isn't it? The same as on the Challenger. They slide down and it takes you to like a little empty bunker underneath the launch site.
But one of the problems why it didn't take off on time was the auto destruct. That was the thing that they couldn't send the rocket up until the auto destruct was in place, because obviously if the rocket started to do the twist and start coming down, they need to hit the button before it hits populated ground with all that hydrogen and all that. So that was quite a scary thought in itself. But yeah, I think they don't show, just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah,
but there'd be a delay on that feed. There'd be a delay on that feed. No, you
Show
know,
us now. They've made it. Show us now.
yeah. Why haven't we seen them now? We haven't seen anything of it. I agree. Stuart agrees with me. That's a first. All that money can be used on better here on Earth. Exactly.
But that's the thing. So with SpaceX and things like that, they're saying like what, £15 million a rocket. This cost them what, 25 billion or something, wasn't it? Well, more than that, I think.
Paul, it just, you know, we've got messages coming through on TikTok. Apparently they're going to do infrared pictures as they park by the dark side of the moon. So that'd be interesting itself. But yeah, I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first mission around the back end of the moon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's further. The furthest.
Wasn't it the Japanese or China landed on the dark side of the moon, didn't they, with their little
I don't
liquid bottle and
see. I think
wooden spoons.
I think it's a whole different. A lot of people are agreeing. No Chinese, but the India. Remember India?
India.
Yes.
It was with that really bad, CGI footage of something.
Best takeaway I ever had.
Yeah, but I do believe there is something that's totally. I don't think anybody is in that rocket at this moment in time. I don't think there's anybody in that rocket. And I do think that obviously when we do see these, I think that the actual footage of these people will be obviously encapsulated.
Well, I want to see the pictures with these people with these powerful telescopes that, are watching this rocket.
China landed on the dark side, but
not a man mission. Yeah.
So we have been that way around.
I actually saw this rocket being built when we went out to America in 2024.
Was it impressive?
It was impressive. It was big. It was obviously laying down because they can't go all the way up. But they told us about bits and pieces of it when we went on the tour, and the rocket was being prepared and ready to go. Then
interesting.
It is very interesting.
I would have liked to have done that. That sounds that's really good, to be fair.
But I would have loved to have been over there with that rocket taking off, because if you heard that sound, it was going at 2,600 mile an hour, and it was pushing the same weight as 56 jumbo jet engines at the same time. That noise would have been incredible. Even if there's no one on it, just witnessing it would have been impressive. Where it goes, no one knows.
I mean, they picked the wrong time to go, to be fair, because it must have cost a fortune to fill that thing with juice.
It's their juice.
They should have waited till the summer, shouldn't they? Warmer.
Well, it was hydrogen, though, wasn't it? Hydrogen and oxygen.
Oh, right.
And it was hydrogen and oxygen, and it mixes at 5,000 litres per second.
Jesus Christ.
To get that, Mach 12, I think, was the maximum push, and that was pushing, I think, 6 Gs to get it through wherever it went, the firmament, and then we've also got to look at the whatever it is, the belt. What's the belt?
Liquid hydrogen.
No, the belt.
Come on, that doesn't add up anyway to the
fan belt. The fan belt. That'd be all right.
What's it called?
Van Allen belt. Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah, the Van Allen belt.
5,000 litres per second.
Yes, it was 5,000 litres mixed at 5,000 litres per second. I say,
come on, that thing should have been 10 times the size.
It was impressive. It was very impressive. To make it lift Yeah, I get it, but there's something very fishy about it, and I think we will find over the next coming days that if the CGI is really going to kick in, and see how it is, because nothing. Why haven't we seen any pictures of them in space at this moment? And please, honestly, if anyone watching, you guys in the chat, you guys on my screen, Sandra, Paul, go and listen to the audio and just listen to how clear the audio is. You're bearing in mind.
Is this when he's asking if you can hear him? Just doing a communications check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this thing is going at 2,026 miles per hour. It's the vibration, and you'd be going, he's pushing 6 Gs in there, and he's going, oh yeah, by the way, I think we've got good communication. Everything's all right here. I've got my tea in my hand. I haven't spilt any of it. Sorry. They're in it. If they're in it, I take it back. I really do. And if anything goes wrong, God forbid they're in it. Please, if they're in it and anything goes wrong, don't be in it. That's all I'm saying. But we will see in a couple of weeks when we get these pictures back from the dark side of the moon for the first time. I'm assuming that ever we are going to have pictures of the dark side of the moon.
I don't know, because they must have taken pictures when they went there. Not like when China went there. Sure, if they've landed, they must have taken pictures.
We must look at it.
No, they did, mate. Yeah, I haven't seen them, but
you would think.
I want to see a picture of the old rover that they left up there.
Well,
as you're passing by, oh look, there it is.
They've already preempted that if it's dark, you're not going to see anything.
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, what are we going to look at?
That
just reminds me of that joke when they were going to get a manned mission to the sun, and they said, "Well, won't it be too hot?" They said, "No, we're going at night time."
Yes.
Well, I agree with Sandra on that. It's like, what's the point of taking pictures of the dark side of the moon? What are you going to see?
Well, once again,
I'd put a bloody great LED lighting in spaceship and just give that a whack on. There you go. You can see what I'm looking at now.
Oh, what was that film? What was that film that you told us to watch about the moon from the back? They become into the moon and their consciousness was the moon, and
Moonfall.
Was it called Moonfall? See, that come into my mind. You know, you go back years, the conspiracies against the moon. Do you know what I mean? In my eyes, that they did say that when they landed on the moon, they actually was met with hostile extraterrestrials. Yeah. So if they are going back in 2028, I believe that's when the mission is to, they must have had some sort of pact or agreement that this can actually happen. So
perhaps that's why they're going up there, going to drop a bun of money.
Yeah, they drop them off. But I think we'll catch up on it, not next week, because obviously we've got a guest on next week, but the week after we'll catch up on it because they should have been home by then, won't they?
Yes.
They'll be home by then. They should be back. Yeah, 10 days.
It's a 10-day mission, yeah.
It's a 10-day. They should be home in 10 days from yesterday, so they've got 9 days left. There's also something a bit about the moon. Apollo cancelled after A17, 3 more after that, not public. Quite a few people on at the moment on TikTok commenting as well. So, but a lot of people are saying there's something fishy about it. So, you know what? I actually feel more composed about it now than others because it's just not me thinking about it and my head letting me wander there. Just how glaringly obvious I think it looked now. Until I see these people in it, but that's it. Well, we've come towards the end of the show, guys. We've gone over by 10 minutes. Thank you to Sandra and H for joining us this week as well. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
we will be definitely be doing this more often after each event. We'll be getting team members on to join us and things like that. So we thank you to you two. I thank you to my wonderful co-host. Co-host was this Stargate SG1 preferred of my former chef. Same here, but I think that exists anyway. Thank you to my two wonderful co-hosts in Psychic Simon and Paranormal Paul.
Welcome.
Guys, we will hopefully be back next week with a special guest, Gary Hesseltine, talking about his book, Non-Human, regarding the Rendlesham incident case from a different perspective, I believe, with different witnesses and different things. That should be a really good interview. So please make sure that you tune in next week with all your questions for that. I'm going to say
as well.
Yeah. And Gary, I'm going to say take care, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.